Welcome back to the Buffalo Plus channel. Please be sure to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Mike Catalana. I'm Jenna Cottrell. We are here, if you couldn't tell, in front of Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. Dawson Knox calling this Nashville because of Bills fans traveling so much here to Nashville. Buffalo taking on the Titans on Monday Night Football. Mike, let's talk a little bit just about the environment and the atmosphere we've seen so far.
Yeah, Bills fans love coming here. I mean, they do. You know, for the longest time, it was to go to the Miami game.
Yeah.
It was to get out of the weather and go to Miami. And, you know, the Dolphins are in, basically Fort Lauderdale, and it's a little different. And the rivalry has been different through the years. Been looking for a place. And the fact that Nashville is Nashville, Nash Vegas, whatever it is, all the different things that it comes with. It's a fun place. Just over the river, right there. And we have a piece here on the Bills fans that are in town. It's a party. It's a big party.
Yes.
We saw them here for the draft. They came back for the game, 20,000 strong, and they couldn't really come last year due to COVID. They're back this year.
They're back in a big way. Bills Mafia really taking over the downtown area. It's so quiet here because obviously the stadium's over here. We're across the river, but I can hear the Cupid shuffle. We heard the shout song earlier today. Like, Bills fans are here. They are loud. You know they're going to be at the game tomorrow. But let's talk about this because the Bills are kind of on this revenge tour. They took down the Chiefs last week, a team that beat them in 2020. Up next is this Titans team that demolished them here at Titan Stadium a year ago. What does this Bills team need to do? Because this is another primetime game, and this is another team that the Bills should be able to beat.
Yeah, last year's game was so strange. And I love what Stephon Diggs said. He said, it's not an excuse, but you want me to give me the reasons? The game was on a Tuesday, and it was a COVID, and it was delayed. And the Bills played like a team that was distracted.
Correct.
Even though it was supposed to be Tennessee that was distracted with all the problems, they just took the field and played, and the Bills made a ton of mistakes in that game. I mean, Josh Allen had 2 picks. They had a fumble on a return by Andre Roberts.
10 penalties.
Yeah, they played sloppy, and the Titans took command, and they beat them. And it was a blowout. It probably was the worst showing for the Bills all year in any game. It just was a poor game. They know they're better than that. It is prime time. They already took care of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think they're motivated to not only win and to beat the team that beat them last year, but to also show, we beat Kansas City, fine. We're good. We're going to come out on Monday night and prove it again.
I think, and the word we talked about this week was that maturity of the Bills being able to have the 24-hour rule of, hey, we beat the Chiefs, now we need to turn the page, focus on the Titans. And I completely agree with that. I think that's so important. But I think now on Monday night is when we'll get to see if they're actually able to do that. You can talk so much about refocusing and all of that, but we need to see that. We need to be able to see this team be able to have a win like we know they can against a Titans team that's been pretty good this year. Derrick Henry is obviously, when you think of that game from last year, the stiff arm. I mean, that was a play that literally when I was looking up the box score driving in here, it was like that was the graphic picture that was there. And I think, how do the Bills control Derrick Henry? Because they were able to do that a year ago. How can they repeat that?
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to the couple of games the Bills have had against the Titans, they've done a good job. Now, keep in mind, the game they won here in 19, the Duke Williams game with the touchdown, the Titans missed 14 field goals in that game. Or it felt like it, but I think what they missed, 4? Was it 3,
like
4, whatever it was?
It was lucky for the Bills.
They were fortunate to win the game, and they did. And then they came out here and got blown out. Look, they're a better team than the Titans. Derrick Henry can control a game. He hasn't done that against the Bills. He does have 3 touchdowns in those 2 games, but he's just over maybe 3.5 yards a carry. They've done a good job with him. Again, last year, it was big mistakes that the Bills made. Bills are a better team than they were in 19. Right now, they seem like a better team than they were in 20, as good as everything went.
Yeah.
And I think Josh Allen, those picks, prime time, he didn't play well in the Kansas City game either. Obviously, he took care of that. The way this team is going and the way this defense is playing, they get after Ryan Tannehill tomorrow night. I think it could be a really good night for the Bills.
You mentioned the defense.
Yeah.
This pains me to say, but you were right. We talked about it on Buffalo Plus Live, the fact that Matt Milano, would he be playing? Dan and I did not think that he would be out there.
It's not guaranteed, right?
No, but, Sean McDermott saying on Saturday he's good to go.
Yeah.
So the assumption is he probably will play,
Right.
and that's something that I didn't expect. But Milano coming back, I mean, he does so much for this defense that's already doing so much.
Well, what I said on the show was, look, we can look at it and say, and I was going to mention this, the schedule works out pretty well for the Bills. They had to go out to Kansas City, but then they don't play till Monday night. Mm-hmm. Now you play this game on a Monday night, and then you have the bye. So that part works out pretty well when you get the opportunity to get whether a little extra rest or coming off these games. But the other part I said was the way this team focuses on their injuries is when the guy's healthy, he will play. Yeah. Now, look, if he wasn't ready to go, it's starting to feel a little more precautionary that he didn't play in Kansas City. Not that he was 100% healthy, but they were like, we can't put him out there.
Yeah.
Once he's healthy, it'd be easy to say, don't play him. And then you have the next week where you got the bye, and then you bring him back. Yeah. This is the way this team operates. He's healthy. He's going to play. Yeah. And he's out there playing. And look, they played well without him, but you really want the guy on the field. Because we've talked about it. If he's not their best defensive player, at times he feels like the most important. And we say that, and then they come out and play great without him against Kansas City. But you want him on the field. Yeah. They're a different team than they were. Jonnu Smith's now playing in New England. They don't have that weapon. Julio Jones has been a absent guy. He hasn't played.
He's been injured.
He's been injured. They do have A.J. Brown, who's been banged up too. They are a different kind of offense. They're going to want to try to control the ball against the Bills. But if the Bills' defense plays the way they did last week, I think the Titans are going to have a tough time controlling it.
I agree. And we'll be in Nashville. Obviously, we're here now. We're going to be here all throughout this next couple of days.
I was just having a flashback because I was here on the field for the Music City Miracle. Wow. You remember that game?
Of course. I was
2001.
negative.
No, I'm kidding. No, you weren't very old. 2001. You were only a few years old, right? Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy in this stadium that day, being on the sidelines and seeing that happen. And, the Bills have found their way to get some games against the Titans. There's nothing that really matches what that game took away from this franchise. Yeah. They lost here and did not. That team could have gone to the Super Bowl. That was in the playoffs. Last year, they lost here, and maybe that was a game that kept them from getting the home field advantage, which might have gotten them to the Super Bowl. I think we both think they win here in Nashville this year, and maybe this is the team that does go to the Super Bowl.
I've just been so impressed with this team so far, and it is only week 6 and all of that, but it's been an impressive group so far, and obviously there's a lot of season left, but taking care of the wins that you need to, that's what a good team does, and that's what we need to see from Buffalo.
And I want everybody to know we're here, and we're both humble and hungry. That's the way we're going to describe it.
That is the most accurate thing in the world.
Well, the humble part is
actually that. Yeah, we can't include Dan. We can't include Dan in the humble.
Oh, Bills fans, look at that!
They're literally right there.
We're talking. There they are.
They are not having fun at all.
Bills fans are not thirsty at the moment. They've taken care of that. All right. Let's go get something to eat.
I was going to say, we're going to get some hot chicken. Thanks for tuning in. Please be sure to like, comment, and like we said, if you enjoy our content, please subscribe. We really appreciate it. It's also, we're closing in on 10K. It means a lot to us. Okay. We'll have plenty of Bills pregame, postgame coverage leading into Monday Night Football.
And live tomorrow night, Monday night, 6:45, live talking about the game, getting you ready.
Absolutely. All right, for Mike, I'm Jenna. For Hungry and Humble, please subscribe. Thank you for watching the Buffalo Plus channel.